I just remember spending a lot of hours behind this like plastic Little Tikes easel, and I remember drawing and painting, and I don't think I ever had like really a vision of what I was gonna do. I just kind of played. I think it's kind of interesting to look back and see where it changed. I started drawing fashion a lot. I thought I wanted to be a fashion designer, and I think it kind of lines up with like where I was in my life. I went through high school striving towards perfection, and then I went into culinary school, and it was really frustrating. Having an eating disorder, going to culinary school, and just realizing like I can't live controlling everything. I think what I like about bread making is that I think that there's kind of this uncontrolled aspect, and like you have a sourdough starter, and the way that your starter is formed is by the unique bacteria that is where your starter lives. So it's like you can't control that, and it creates the bread that it creates. And then with art, I just put the paint together, I do the brush strokes, and it ends up coming out the way it comes out, and I kind of just have to be hands off at some point. I'm not 10 steps ahead whenever I'm painting. I kind of just try to like let what happens happen. So like there is some ink left on here, and it kind of started turning that color a little gray, and I just try to go with it. With my art, it's gonna typically be in a place that somebody calls home. I want it to be peaceful and calming and comforting. When I release it, somebody else is completely free to let it be whatever it means to them. So like it can mean one thing to me, but I like that somebody else has a completely different interpretation of it. When he wakes up, he wakes up. So I have to step away. So when the way that something dries, especially when I do ink, is like that's the way it dries. So I think that's really cool, because it's like his, I don't know, like my work can't be separated from him. I'm not at all like I want him to be an artist or anything like that. I just wonder what part of my story is gonna play. I hope he thinks that art is fun, and it doesn't have to be a rigid or like super accurate thing or be good enough to be art. I hope he just has a lot of fun with it. I mean, whenever I create, I try to think as simplistically as I can, having as much fun as I can, and just leave it at that. You look at him and you're like, oh my gosh, you're so perfect. Like you are just this perfect little thing, and it just makes me want to be nicer to myself, because I would never want him to think about his creations the way I have in the past, or be as hard on himself as I have been, because I don't know, it's like I just see myself through a different lens, like a more pure lens of maybe the way that my parents see me. And now I just experience a lot more joy when I create.